Greetings and welcome to our video lesson. All right, so first thing I want to talk about tonight is your rough drafts. So the thing to remember about these papers is that the fundamentals are things that you have to do in every paper. The fundamentals are your essay structure. Have an intention grabber, mention your main points, end with a thesis statement in your introduction paragraph. For your body paragraphs, start with a topic sentence, give support and details, and transition to the next body paragraph. In the conclusion paragraph, reword your thesis, mention your main points, and end with a clincher. If you don't have those things down pat, and if you don't exemplify the best practices of those things, especially since those are some of the first lessons we went over, then your paper is you're not going to score well. So you have to have the fundamentals down. Also, if you don't have those fundamentals down, your paper is not going to sound like it makes sense. It's going to sound like you're going off on tangents because you don't tell us what you're going to talk about with your introduction paragraph. You're not writing a novel here. You're writing an academic essay. You have to be very upfront with what you're talking about, especially with your thesis statement and with your topic sentences. Be upfront. Don't create any mysteries. Don't say, like, your thesis statement shouldn't say something like, in this paper, I'm going to tell you about what I'm going to talk about. First, don't talk about the paper in your paper. Don't tell us what you're going to do. You just do it. And be specific. Tell us exactly what your theory is, exactly what your argument is, exactly what you're talking about in the paper. Be very specific. In short papers like this, you need to be very specific. If it was a long 10-page paper, then maybe you can be more general because you could cover more topics and ideas and theories in a generally stated thesis statement. But with short papers, where you only have 3 body paragraphs to get into details about, your thesis needs to be very specific because you don't have a lot of roaming space for this paper. The paper is to be 5 paragraphs only. If you get me 6 paragraphs, you're going to lose a lot of points. It can be 4 paragraphs, you're going to lose a lot of points. 5 paragraphs, follow the essay paragraph structure. If you haven't seen the essay paragraph structure, which you definitely have, it's right here in the course and assignment outline. Compare and contrast essay, the critical essay, controversial topic. Introduction paragraph, summary paragraph, opposition's opinion, your opinion, conclusion paragraph. Do that. We'll talk about the argument paper next week. It will be, it'll be an easy paper to think about because you're going to be able to use the same topic as you are with your current paper. So there's not going to be a lot of change to that, but the body paragraphs, if you read you can read the assignment description and know exactly what it's going to be about. But yeah, I suggest that you use the same topic. Only reason why you should use a different topic is if you really can't stand your topic right now. But yeah. What's next on our list? The no-no list. So in our assignment, our course outline, we do have a no-no list. It's at the end. So if you see that I wrote no-no on your paper, it means that you committed one of these no-nos. And I'll take off 2 points for every no-no that you have. So if you put 5 no-nos in your paper, you already dropped down a letter grade. So this is something that you should catch, you should be looking for when you proofread your paper. Proofreading is always your responsibility. When I look at your rough draft, I'm not doing it to proofread it. I'm not supposed to do it to proofread it. But every once in a while, especially if it's a full semester, and we do a couple rough drafts, I might proofread it once just so that you can see what an English teacher sees when they read your paper. But this is just a list for you to look at so that you can, when you proofread your paper, you can see if you have these so you can take it out. So go over this no-no list. The contractions, we're going to put that's for the third paper. I'm not going to mark off for the critical essay for that. Let's see, etc. Symbols, just write it out. Make sure your punctuation, if it's the end of the sentence, end of the quote, make sure the punctuation goes inside of the quote mark. If then comma, in years without apostrophes. If you use an apostrophe with a year, like the 1900s, then it's a possessive. So if you're saying the 1900s automobiles, which means the automobiles of the 1900s that belong to the 1900s, you can put the apostrophe there. But if you say in the 1900s, we had some pretty cool automobiles, then you don't use the apostrophe because you're just talking about, you talk about the years in that time span that starts with 19. So keep that in mind. Let's see. After the no-no list, we'll talk about commas now. So when I make highlights on your papers, it's because it's an obvious mistake that stands out and is usually because of grammar, punctuation, or spelling. And these are things that I'm not going to write notes about because they are really fundamental things, especially since this isn't really a full-fledged grammar course. Which is why in the introduction for the course, I suggest that you do these grammar exercises to make sure that you are up to par with your grammar. So what I suggest is that you can either come here and use these links to do these exercises, or you can go to chompchomp.com yourself and do the exercises there. But what I suggest is that if I made any highlights and it had to do with a comma splices or anything like that, I suggested you do these comma exercises. If you get an 85% on any one of the exercises in any of these categories, then you're good. If you get below 85%, then every time you get one wrong, look and read, because it gives you the answer and it gives an explanation. Look and read the explanation so that you can know what the rule is. And if you do this before you proofread or before you do your rewrite, then you will have, like, it'll be almost like brain muscle memory. If you practice these things, when it comes time for it to count, your perfect practice makes perfect. Don't keep practicing it wrong, because then you'll do wrong when it counts. So go in there, practice these things, and then do your paper. So I suggest doing the comma splices and fused sentences, doing the fragments one is important because a lot of you do have like really long fragments. You think they're complete sentences, but they're not. The commas, definitely the commas right there. And Word choice is a good one. That's a pretty good one to do. So comma splices and fused sentences, fragments, and the commas, the section on commas, and word choice. If you get those right, if you get 85% at least on any of those, any of the exercises in those categories, then you're good. It should be good. What's next? No list, commas. Okay, so after this video, after you watch this video, below this video, I'll put the videos on formatting titles, the little mini lessons, and the quotation sandwich mini lesson also, just in case you need a reminder about quotation sandwiches. Because in your papers, I will be checking for quotation sandwiches. So in your final draft, you should have a quotation sandwich in the your opinion paragraph and the opposition opinion paragraph, or be the opposition opinion first and then your opinion paragraph. I'd like to see a quotation sandwich in each of those paragraphs. And this week, I'll post the spelling quizzes, and this will be the last week for the spelling quizzes. Yeah, I'm not even gonna press those quizzes on you. Let's just concentrate on the papers and make sure that those get done and done well. So this will be the last spelling quiz week. Yep. Let's see what's next. All right. And citations and works cited. I'll make a little video after this one about citations and your works cited page, just so that you can see what how they correlate. And I'll also make another video just so these videos aren't super long. Yep. All right. See you on the next one.